Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm dropping brand new videos on topics such as public speaking, social skills, writing skills, and much more. Join the tribe by hitting that subscribe button right on below. Hit that bell notification and never miss another video again. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down a short story from my book, Street Smarts, 101 Short Stories, Essays, and Insights to Improve Your Communication Skills. And the short story that we're going to be breaking down is called The Dangers of Social Media Addiction. If you're a law student, you may appreciate today's video. A couple of years back, I had this one friend named Mickey. And Mickey was in a strange point in his life. The initial degree that he majored in was a degree that he didn't feel satisfied him. More on that shortly. And he was re-entering school this time, trying to become a lawyer. And he did amazing. I mean, he was passing a lot of these exams. He was working hard, organizing study groups. And one day, Mickey, he had a mock trial coming up. And a lot of law students have to do this mock trial where they prepare the entire semester for a court case, where they're given a judge, a jury, and they can invite their friends and family to watch them in action. Mickey had been preparing for the entire semester, and I was one of the people that he asked, "Hey, do you want to come to my mock trial?" I was like, "Of course, man. You know I love Law and Order and all those cool shows. I'll be there." So Friday comes around and I see this beautiful court and the judge is there. A bunch of the friends and the family are there. Mickey is suited up and he's given the case. He is, him and his buddy, they're supposed to prove why this one particular individual is innocent in regards to a car accident, while Mickey's opponents are supposed to prove why this guy is guilty. Now, the dynamic was hilarious because Mickey's opponents were these two really big white guys. One looked like a bodybuilder. The other looked like a basketball player. And there was Mickey and his teammate, and they were two very little Indian guys. Just to picture Mickey, picture a shrunken Harry Potter, but brown. So just seeing the dynamic was hilarious. And since these two individuals, the white guys, were so big, I was thinking just from their sheer size that they were going to be more vocal, more animated. They were going to get in people's faces. This is what I was picturing regarding the whole court system. But these guys were very tamed. It was hilarious because Mickey, the tiny little Indian guy, was the vocal one. He was screaming, he was getting in people's faces, calling them names. And myself, along with the audience members, we were laughing. We're like, what is going on? But that's when I started to assess this situation a little bit closer. I was like, what is going on? I mean, this isn't just like this fun house. This is something that is going to determine whether or not these guys pass. And here is Mickey making a mockery out of this entire situation. He's getting everyone laughing. But that doesn't mean he's doing a good job in terms of being a lawyer. And that's when I tune in a little bit more to Mickey. And I could hear his tone. The way that he's raising his voice is not just him raising his voice. This was the same tone that he had anytime that he got drunk. As I listened closer and closer, I started to realize that Mickey was behaving like this because he was drunk. Once there was an intermission of some sort, a lot of the friends and the family were capable of going backstage. I was luckily to see Mickey backstage where no one else was by him. As soon as he spoke to me, I felt a breeze of alcohol hitting my face. I'm like, Mickey, are you drunk? He's like, shh, no one knows. I'm doing a great job now, aren't I? And I'm looking at Mickey and I'm like, this guy, and one of the biggest moments in his law studies is drinking. Why? But this wasn't something that should have blown my mind by any means, because a couple of years before, he was showing signs of someone who was going to become an alcoholic. Because here's what happened. In his prior career, he basically had one of the worst jobs you could imagine. He had to call elderly people and tell these elderly people that they were not insured for some sort of health issues. And basically, 8 hours in the day, he's just getting chewed out by these elderly people who are horrified that they're not going to get any assistance for their dangerous medical conditions. You ever heard of the phrase, don't shoot the messenger? Well, Mickey had a career where he was basically being shot as the messenger. So, he would be like, this is one of the reasons I drink at work. You guys got to understand. I mean, this is a very stressful job, and that's why I take a little sippy sip. Other people don't have to know. We're like, okay, that's not a big deal. Whatever. I mean, whatever helps you get through the day, I guess. But that small clue that he gave us started to add up more and more and more. And eventually, Mickey was now drunk in one of the biggest moments in his law career. And this is exactly how addictions work. It starts off very small, and it doesn't seem to be anything that is concerning at the moment. But then it starts to boil into something bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is no different for social media addiction. See, the horrific thing regarding social media addiction is that us in this generation, the time of recording the video, 2022, we're technically the guinea pigs, which means that there isn't 100 years worth of data to assess whether or not social media addiction is even a thing. This is the era where something like this is even happening, and it can only happen through small little increments that boils into something larger. The thing is, how is it that someone spots whether or not they have social media addiction? I believe with anything addiction in general, it's not something that only affects you. It's something that affects other people as well. So that's one of the first things that you want to ask. Okay, am I someone that's addicted to this? And don't just say, am I only addicted to this? Also start thinking, and is it affecting other people in the process? Because Mickey's whole little outburst in the courtroom wasn't just affecting him. It was affecting his opponents and his other little partner that was with him in that incident. Now, the next thing in regards to social media addiction is something that is going to be very counterintuitive. It's to talk about the good stuff of social media. Wait a minute, Armani. I thought this video was about overcoming social media addiction. I thought you were going to vilify social media. Why would I possibly speak up social media? Because here's the thing. Social media is not the problem. It is a tool. And once you get in the habit of articulating how this tool is meant to function, that's when you'll realize that you don't actually have to get rid of it cold turkey. It's something that you can use in the correct way. So if let's say I'm going through social media addiction and I assess, yes, I do have the addiction because it's impacting me and other people. And now I'm in the second stage where I have to articulate the good uses of social media. I could say, well, with social media, I could learn any topic out there if I follow the right accounts. With social media, I can get in the habit of articulating my ideas so I become a better communicator. With social media, I have an amazing distribution system that allows me to create a product and give it straight to the people. By understanding this, it becomes evident when someone is using social media incorrectly, aka using it to follow garbage accounts, using it to give yourself a panic attack, using it in a way where it's like, let me just use this in order to show how much other people have stuff and I don't have it, so I could be more jealous. These are the incorrect ways of doing it. So that's part number 2. See how to properly use social media. It's the car, right? The car is not the problem, but you driving a car on the ocean is the problem. Use it correctly, and now the tool becomes your servant rather than your master. And the third part in regards to mitigating social media is what I call embracing analog. See, analog gets a lot of hate in the digital age, but analog is something that should be respected. Analog is stuff that is not digits. It's writing by hand. It's having a face-to-face communication. It's reading a physical book. These are all moments of analog, and during these moments of analog, no digital is allowed. And I'll give you an example of this. Every morning when I wake up, the first thing that I do obviously is like brush my teeth, get freshened up, and I'll go straight to the gym. The gym is something that is an analog-like activity. Then go for a walk. Boom, another analog-like activity. Then possibly read or write something else. And I haven't even touched social media yet. Social media cannot be touched until at least 1 to 3 productive tasks have been done for the day. But gradually embracing analog, now it's more of a balanced approach. You could tell by someone's face when they're too much in the digital realm. They have this very pale-like face with dead eyes, and you could just tell from their the energy that is emanating. So the bottom line with addictions, it's not the social media that's the problem. It's how the tool is being managed. And to overcome, or at least open the door to overcoming social media addiction, number 1, identify if you are addicted. To identify if you are addicted, it's not only affecting you, it's affecting you along with other people. 2, articulate how social media is meant to be used in a productive way. And 3, gradually introduce more analog into your life. During these moments of analog, no digital is allowed. By doing this over time, social media is no longer going to be the master. It is now going to be the servant. If you want more practical insights like this into communication skills, whether it's human-to-human communication or whether it's human-to-machine communication, you definitely want to check out Street Smart's 101 short stories, essays, and insights to improve your communication skills. This book is going to have a lot of topics on public speaking, social skills, how to become a powerful writer, along with plenty of other topics. Grab Street Smarts in the description box right on below. Go on the pinned comment or go on ArmaniTalks.com and grab your copy today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I will catch you next time.